to rebuild the fire station on the other side of the river up out of the floodplain. And this won't happen to us again.
In town, Carl Cray has returned to his cherished riverfront home, but rebuilding has not been easy.
You couldn't dig here.
A year ago, buried beneath layers of thick mud, his home appeared lost. But the first response team helped Carl dig through to a brighter future.
It's the first time I had hope. Hope that I could still live here. Hope that it wouldn't just swallow me up. I don't know if I'd be back here without him, because I'd given up.
In going back to Lyons, Tattaglia is reminded how his work helps communities move forward.
Being here in Lyons was a very meaningful experience because I'm able to see the folks that we've worked with, that we've helped, and to see the appreciation that they express. In a way, it kind of gives us the fuel to keep on going.
To learn more about Tattaglia and the First Response Team of America, go to weather.com/responders. Bonnie.
Well, a tropical system moving into the Gulf of Mexico could strengthen as it hits warmer waters. Storm specialist Greg Postel is watching it closely. He'll tell us the odds if it'll pick up speed and where it's headed.
Responding by storm, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram.
The powerful and efficient 5.7-liter Hemi V8 with 22 highway miles per gallon and 395 horsepower.
Come with me now. Come with me now. Come with me now.
How far you take it is entirely up to you. Guts, Glory, Ram.
Come with me now.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
Show me fire.
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 75. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Still on for tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Quick look at the weather. Nice day, beautiful tomorrow.
Tomorrow is full of promise.
We can come back tomorrow.
And we promise to keep it that way. Driven to preserve the environment, CSX moves a ton of freight nearly 450 miles on 1 gallon of fuel.
What a day.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
Working toward a brighter tomorrow. CSX. How tomorrow moves.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
My data is mine, not mined.
Mine to share,
Mine to keep. It's mine when I want it.
mine where I want it,
And only mine. My data is mine to analyze.
mine to put to work.
mine to control.
It's mine.
The AFS Connect Farm Management System from Case IH connects you, and only you, to the information you need most from your equipment, from anywhere, at any time. AFS Connect, only from Case IH.
It's only two of us. How much dirt can we manufacture?
More
Very
than you
little.
think.
What's
that?
Swiffer Sweeper.
I came in under the assumption that it was clean. I've been living in a fool's paradise.
Make dinner about dancing and add excitement to mealtime with a variety of food at PetSmart. Now save up to $4 on select pedigree dry dog food. PetSmart.
Their struggles defined them.
He didn't dare slow down. There were demons.
Their courage defined our nation.
You just had a sense this guy can do it.
Before they were history, they were family.
All of the Roosevelts were wounded people. Things had happened to them that they had to overcome.
The Roosevelts. And
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
In my country, investment opportunity emerges rapidly. Franklin Templeton has been here for decades to see it firsthand.
Invest through the eyes of hundreds of local experts worldwide. Franklin Templeton Investments.
Back pain? Get the same kind of therapy without an appointment. New Smart Relief from Icy Hot.
Press a button and relaxing pulses quickly block even chronic pain. It's wireless and easy to use.
New Smart Relief from Icy Hot. No appointment necessary.
Way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
If you hurt him, really think I'd harm a dog? You, on the other hand.
The Blacklist returns September 22nd on NBC. Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Time for your tropical update. I'm Hurricane Specialist Dr. Greg Postel. With a look at what's going on right now in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, we have an Invest, an area that has some potential for development, an area of low pressure that's moving westward across the Gulf of Mexico. Let's have a look at the satellite pictures and show you where it is. There you can see the counterclockwise swirl. That is unmistakable, guys. There's an area of low pressure sitting right in there. But what I'm not seeing and what doesn't exist is a lot of thunderstorm activity anywhere right near the center. We have some thunderstorms on the periphery. In fact, a lot of those have dried out here, but still we're left with some here. And the idea is that when you don't have thunderstorms near the center, you're not going to get strengthening. And so that's going to be the case today. I think steady she goes today. This is going to be an area of low pressure that we'll be watching over the next couple of days, head westward over the Gulf of Mexico, with some chance, if the environment improves around it, to strengthen. But the idea is that I think the odds are pretty low, 30%, and I would not be surprised to see these development odds come down a little bit as we head through the weekend, just because a lot of the model guidance that I've seen doesn't really do a whole lot with this. In fact, a lot of the models just bring this area of low pressure westward with not many thunderstorms along with it. I mean, you can see, much like this one, there's the low-level swirl here late Sunday evening, and you got to sense that there's some thunderstorms scattered around the edges. So we will keep a close eye on this. Stay tuned in case something changes with 92L, because it is probably going to move westward into Texas and maybe the western Gulf Coast, bringing some heavy rain, perhaps Tuesday-ish. Stay tuned for that. That could be significant. And now let's move over to the Atlantic side, where we've got two systems. We've got 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm Edouard right here, and an Invest, which has a 30% chance of developing right out here off the African coast. Let's look at the visible pictures, guys. Not a lot of thunderstorm clouds out here. Not a lot of those bright whites near the Cape Verde Islands. Look at this satellite picture. There is a Saharan air layer outbreak now moving out across the Atlantic Ocean. There's the coast of Africa right there. We are looking southward from the Cape Verde Islands, guys, and look at this sort of dusty air right out over here that is riding toward the west out off of Africa over the tropical ocean and the atmosphere above. So that is one of the, I think, limiting factors, the fact that that air is very dry and it is stable. That is helping to prevent big thunderstorms over that part of the world. Stay tuned for all the latest. Back to you.
Thanks so much. Well, the fall season is fast approaching. Now's a great time to choose the perfect spot to watch as autumn emerges.
And to help guide us on the best places this time of year, we are joined via Skype by Jim Salgi, a photographer and blogger for Yankee Foliage. Jim, what would be your best pick for fall foliage locations this season?
This season, it's easy. The Mohawk Trail in central Massachusetts is turning 100, and it's been entertaining leaf peepers for generations, and they're really pulling out all the stops this year to celebrate their 100th year.
Well, how does the weather come into play when choosing a great location?
Well, really, it's a seasonal forecast, and this year the setup looks phenomenal. We had a really late spring, a cool summer with adequate rainfall, and I really think that this September is just going to make the leaves pop up here in New England. It looks really good.
At times, Jim, it seemed like there was a lot of rain into the Northeast corridor, the opposite out west where it was really dry. How did these things that could stress out a tree change the types of leaves you might see?
Well, if we have too much rain over the summer, it can dull things out. But the rain was really timely and came in big events, and it had adequate drying in between. So we don't think it's going to have a huge issue this year.
So when you're talking about visiting this area, there's a lot of resources available to visit New England, right?
Sure. Our website, yankeefoliage.com, has great tips on driving and routes to travel. We also have updates on timing of foliage and when great times to visit each state are. So yankeefoliage.com is a great place to start when planning a trip.
And Jim, real quick, I know you were out last night with the Northern Lights. We just saw an amazing photo. That must have been amazing last night.
It was beautiful. One of the best displays I've ever seen.
All right, Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 75. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, a tropical low is moving from Florida into the Gulf of Mexico, and this is something that everybody along the Gulf Coast needs to keep an eye on in the days to come. In fact, here is a look that we've been following. We've been checking out views in Florida. Lots of sunshine peeking through at times, but more rain could be on the way. So we'll let you know if more heavy rain and storms will linger into the weekend.
You know, Florida doesn't have the monopoly on the bad weather this weekend. Rain and thunderstorms, well, they're spreading like a bad rash in the Northeast and the Southeast, too. As you head out to those football games and festivals, I'll lay and show out how you can play everything out there. Mark, I'm having trouble with that one line. I'm going to skip it.
You know what? I don't blame you. That was a tough one. And you know what? We're also taking you to one of the most exclusive hotels in the country. This is the only way I'd be allowed in. You can only check in at certain times of the year thanks to a certain season. So we're taking you on the inside on Weather Center Live.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Bonnie Schneider.
And I'm Mark Elliott, and I hope Mother Nature is not cramping your style too badly this weekend. But no matter if you're in good or bad weather, we want you to show us how you're spending your weekend.
That's right. Send us your pictures. Hashtag your weekend. David McFarland sent this photo out. We're headed to the track at Chicagoland Speedway. Now, he's hoping for nicer weather today after they saw rain yesterday.
And you know what? A live look now across portions of the Gulf Coast states where there's just been so much showers and storms and just messy weather. You know what? And that's going to continue here. We are going to be following the forecast across the Gulf Coast states for days because of that potential for even more rainfall. So, you know what? We've been following this for you. We're going to continue to do so. Tracking tropical rains, 2 different Invest areas that we are very carefully watching. One of these, Invest 92L. This one came all the way across Florida, went into the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, I should say. But there's still really strong upper level. Not going to see fast development, but it's over the Gulf, and it is an area of low pressure. So there is a chance of development here, and we're going to be watching it. 30% chance, according to the National Hurricane Center, over the next 5 days to see development. Now, we've been watching that flow going back over Florida again and going back towards that area of low pressure, and it is kicking off the storm. So north of Miami, scattered showers and thunderstorms have returned once again. Here's that flow going over the Sunshine State towards our area of low pressure, our Invest area. And as we time this out for you, this is one of our high-res models. It picks up on that trend, kicks up the thunderstorms through the day, but then brings another round near South Florida by the night. And so a couple of different chances of some stormy conditions. Now, here's Invest 94L on the other side of the Gulf. It's lots of showers and storms associated with this one. It'll end already, so we're not really anticipating development here. That said, we got a lot of rain with this one. One of those bands is over Corpus Christi. It's been sitting there through the bulk of the morning, now into the afternoon hours. You too will be seeing the rain. Now look at Brownsville. You have the potential for flooding in Brownsville, but you're dry for the moment. Don't put down your guard. All this heavy rain is slowly eking its way north, so get ready, South Texas. More rain is on the way. Of course, we need some rain. We're still in drought conditions in South Texas. It's worse in North Texas. Wish we could bring it up there for you. But you know what? We'll take it in South Texas as long as we don't get the flooding. Thing is, that's a potential. We could see flash flooding across the kind of the Rio Grande border there, but even near the coast, that yellow area, 3 to 5 inches of rain through Monday. So a lot of rain here over the next couple of days. And of course, we're going to be following that for you. And Dr. Postel is back at 20 past to give you the full update. Bonnie.
All right, well, we're talking about stormy weather in the southeast. It's in the mix today for the Carolinas. Oh, it looks a little more overcast in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this hour than it did the last one. You can see a couple people walking on the beach. They're trying to get in their beach time, I think, before the rain really hits. But we've had spotty showers and thunderstorms along the eastern sections of the Carolinas throughout the morning today. The question is, how is this going to impact your weekend? Well, let's take a look. You know, it's not just the Carolinas. You can see some rain into Virginia as well. It's one of those weekends where you just have to be monitoring the weather very carefully because storms can pop up at any time. Our satellite radar composite shows just that. Look at the border here, Alabama into Georgia. The storm's firing up to the south and east of Atlanta at this hour. And we're also seeing strong storms rumbling on through central South Carolina. Will those head to those beaches? It's something to keep close watch on. And setting up the weather pattern is a stationary front. We have warm, moist, humid air to the south, certainly cooler air to the north, but not that cool. It's been just really hot in Atlanta. Yesterday was hot. Today's going to be another one that's going to be warm. You can see already at 80 degrees, and with that little burst of sunshine, you know what that means, the thunderstorms, and they can be intense at times. We'll watch that for today, and it stays wet out there from Knoxville, Tennessee, all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina into Sunday. We'll see overcast conditions and the chance for storms in Charleston as well. So this entire area, the southeast, looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms for your Sunday. The northeast looking at better weather in the Sunday, but now we're looking here and it's scattered showers and thunderstorms with some heavier amounts of rain in the Birmingham area. Keep that in mind for any outdoor barbecues. Rain through Monday, when we're tallying up the numbers, it's about 2 to 3 inches in some places, 1 to 2 in others, or up to an inch across even the panhandle of Florida. Mark, quite a wet weekend in the southeast. How's the northeast looking?
You know, a very soggy pattern, really for the whole eastern side of the country. The northeast corridor, you're going to get into the mix as well. This is a live look at Seaside Park, and granted, it's a little bit fuzzy there because there's some fog and some mist and some low clouds that the camera just is having trouble focusing in on. And you know what? That's going to be a trend today as a cold front comes through, and we're going to see some showers knocking on the doorstep. So Saturday showers, but Sunday sunshine into the northeast corridor. Here's the setup now. Area of low pressure is going to be swinging on through today. Cold front draped down through the northeast Northeast Corridor. Both of these swing through today. Tomorrow, much better. So right now, this is the messy part of your weekend. I-90, you're socked in on the rain. I-80 in Pennsylvania, 78, 81, 76, you're in the rains as well. And we can even zoom in towards D.C. D.C. and Baltimore, both in and out of the showers. So if you're traveling 95, make sure those windshield wipers are ready to go. We can even use our high-res models to kind of time out how that cold front's going to spin on through and give us those showers for the beginning of the day, into the evening hours through New Jersey, but lingering longer for New England. And that's because you're just so much further east than the rest of the Northeast Corridor. Of course, we're also following the kickoff forecast, right? Rutgers and Penn State at 8 o'clock. Your game should be clearing out. Bonnie.
Good news there. Well, as fall moves in, it's bringing summer to a screeching halt for some of us. We've already seen snow in some places this week. When we come back, we'll tell you who's hot and who's not.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hangup Tires.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. L&B 24-inch vanity, now just $119.
I will embrace change. Everything life throws my way. Except for frown lines. Those I'm thrown back.
Olay Total Effects. Nourishing vitamins and 7 beautiful benefits in one for younger looking skin. Olay, your best beautiful.
I'm not an airbrush kind of girl. I just want to look it.
Olay Total Effects Pore Minimizing CC Cream. Colors, corrects, instantly reduce the look of pores in 80% of women. Olay, your best beautiful.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane.
It's just total chaos.
If you think you've seen it all, look again.
You've got to be kidding me.
A new original series, Hurricane 360. Mondays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 75. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
People. I'm not perfect. The Blacklist returns September 22nd on NBC.
Am I missing a deadline? Will I get there in time? Am I going too fast? Did I close the garage door? Stay in your lane. I don't think I sent that email. I should make a reservation. I thought it was clear. Okay, break. I didn't see that coming.
Its instinct to protect leaves you free to drive. Lease the Infiniti Q50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Pillsbury pancake batter. Homemade pancakes any day, anytime. Just pour, flip, and serve. Pillsbury pancake batter. Find it in the refrigerated section.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
Well, how about this? A live look at LA and Chicago. Two parts of the country separated by a good distance, but still having two very different weather experiences. One on the hot side and one not on the hot side. In fact, I've been following the hot side for you. You know, the West Coast. Bonnie, people are still talking beach weather. They're showing off the new swim gear, trying to take on these out-of-season sales and maybe get that towel ready, you know?
Yeah, so the question is, are you hot or not? So, Mark, let me just get this straight. You're hot.
I suppose so.
Okay.
I encourage everyone to write that down and remember it forever.
Mark Elliott is hot.
Thank you.
All right, on the flip side, I don't want to say I'm not. Can I just say I'm
not
cool?
True.
Okay.
You are cool as a cucumber.
Cool, right. You know, we're looking at some cooler weather, certainly, with temperatures that have been dropping down, cold enough for snow.
Yeah.
Look at this snow. I can't believe in September we're seeing this.
Yeah, Rapid City, 1888. Since then, they had not seen snow this early as they had this year.
Do you think folks looked out the window and they took a double take at their calendar?
I mean, I saw a photo of a snowman up in Canada that said too soon. He had the angry eyes on. I think a lot of people thought exactly the same thing.
That's true. But also on the flip side, as you mentioned, it has been a little maybe too hot in some locations.
Yeah, well, especially out west. I mean, look at the jet stream. It is up by Alaska. They have an area of low pressure near Alaska that's giving them record wind gusts because it's just so wound up there, all because that jet stream is so far north. But what comes up must come down, and the Midwest is chilly.
That's true. Chilly, not really that cold, but look at how cold it is in some places. You know, we're talking about not just the snow, but look at these cold temperatures in Kansas.
Yeah, you really feel it in the morning, right?
Yeah.
35 degrees for your morning low. I mean, that is brutal. Stepping outside, you got to walk the dogs. They don't care. They don't care that it's cold out. They want to go.
That's true. Now, if you are looking to go to the beach and you like it really hot to go to the beach, I would say head out west because that's where we're seeing some hot temperatures. And notice this heat advisory, Mark, goes all the way to the water, south of LA.
Yeah, that's a little bit rare. Usually it's just the Inland Empire, right? Where you think about all that like desert sands baking, but even the coastal areas, a little bit of an offshore flow, they're really going to be cooking.
Another place that's hot, I don't want to say not, is the Northwest and even into Central California. Temperatures, looking at this, triple digits for today and tomorrow in the mid to upper 90s, even Boise in on the action, and 88 degrees.
Yeah, and you know what, Bonnie, not everybody in that area has air conditioning because it doesn't get this hot that often. They have this summer, but this is rare.
That's true. So it can be dangerous as well. So be prepared for that heat, especially with those triple digit numbers and where temperatures are 15 degrees above normal. So it's not just your imagination. It's not supposed to be this hot.
This is the type of stuff that, you know, Portland might actually want in their neck of the woods. A 60-degree temp in Chicago. Granted, that's almost 20 degrees below average, though. And much of the Midwest seeing 10 to 20 degrees below average.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you talk about the cold with temperatures that have been below average. When St. Louis, you're probably thinking, this is the kind of weather where I'm going to look at the leaves changing. Oh, not quite. Temperatures are definitely below normal, but we're looking at some changes in the forecast. I don't think it'll stick around for too much longer. Mark?
Yeah, well, we're going to be following the 7-day forecast for you, and there are some changes on the way. But we're going to kick things off with what we're seeing today, and that's that cold front making its way towards the East Coast. Scattered showers associated with this. Northerly winds bringing down that cool air. The northern tier in the Midwest, 58 in Chicago, right? But the West into tomorrow, still plenty warm. Phoenix 102, LA 95, even Seattle still in the 80s. So it's going to be plenty warm until things start to wiggle. And still we have that jet stream flatten out a bit, and that starts Monday. Then we start to see the southerly winds returning in the center of the country. That allows the moisture to return. It also allows the center of the country to warm up a little bit. Minneapolis by Tuesday closer to 70. And eventually a new storm crashes through that western ridge. You can start to see that Wednesday as showers show up. But look what happens by Thursday into Friday. Our next system tracking its way across the country. And we're tracking tropics next.
Discover Brookside and discover an exciting combination of tastes. Rich dark chocolate covering soft centers, flavored with exotic fruit juices. It's chocolate and fruit flavors like you've never experienced before. Discover Brookside.
Average work pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose Work Pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose Work Pants. Tougher than an angry beaver's teeth. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Ours is a world of passengers. The red eyes.
I'm really tired.
The transfers.
Well, that's kid number 3.
The co-pilots. All sitting, trusting, waiting for a safe arrival. Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy, designed to help the driver and you care for the passenger and them. The Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavor's fully developed to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. You know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Brakes, tires, oil, everything.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane.
Just total chaos.
If you think you've seen it all, look again.
Back pain? Get the same kind of therapy without an appointment. New Smart Relief from Icy Hot.
Press a button and relaxing pulses quickly block even chronic pain. It's wireless and easy to use.
New Smart Relief from Icy Hot. No appointment necessary.
For diarrhea, you take Kaopectate. But for heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, or nausea, you also take Kaopectate. Kaopectate relieves diarrhea and soothes your stomach for relief of all those symptoms. Kaopectate, one and done.
You should see what we're doing with our chicken. We're making tacos the Checkers way. Checkers $2 crispy chicken taco box. A soft tortilla filled with crisp lettuce, chicken bites, Cool Ranch, and warm cheddar. Served with our famous fries. Or go spicy with creamy sriracha sauce. The new crispy chicken taco box, just $2. You'll flip for it. Checkers.
Saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
Oh my God, the suspense is killing me.
The Blacklist returns September 22nd on NBC.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 75. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Let's have a look at some of these tower cams there in Key West, Florida. Looks like the weather's pretty good there. And then we've got a Houston and Galveston, Texas. A couple of tower cams there showing some pretty crummy weather coming into parts of the Texas coast. Let's have a look at what's going on there in the Gulf of Mexico, because we've been watching a very moist flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico into Texas, thanks to the old 94L, which is now moved inland. It's an area of low pressure, a tropical low, that it continues to swirl around right in here and bring significant amount of moisture into South Texas. And we also have an Invest 92 out here in the eastern Gulf of Mexico that many eyes have been watching for the last couple of days for the possibility of development. Let's look in the Texas coast right now. We got another rain band that's moving north. That's going to get into Brownsville pretty soon. With the earlier rain band up here near Corpus, they had a wind gust of over 40 miles per hour. And with a lot of rain, we've got flash flood watches out for parts of southern Texas. That's until 7 o'clock tonight, local time. Over in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, 30 mile per hour, well, or so, tropical Invest here, 92L. This is an area of unorganized thunderstorms and a broad area of low pressure that's got a 30% chance of developing as it heads off toward the west over the Gulf of Mexico. This is what we think it's going to look like. It will bring some rain showers to parts of southern Florida, maybe today, the broad flow around that. But then as it continues to move off toward the west, really not many of the models do anything with this, and they keep scattered showers and thunderstorms over the Gulf of Mexico, swirling around a broad area of low pressure. But it is likely to get into the Texas coast as we head towards a Tuesday, late Monday, Tuesday, and could bring some heavy rain along the Gulf Coast there with a tropical flow moving that way. And you can see that happening right in here as we go through Monday and Tuesday. Enhanced rainfall could be on the way. There's going to be a frontal zone there too, so a couple of systems teaming up there for some heavy rains, maybe. Now let's look at Odile right here. This is in the Pacific Ocean. We have a Category 1, 80-mile-per-hour Odile. It's been kind of going through fits and starts the last couple days. It underwent actually a weakening trend yesterday, presumably because it was stuck over the same waters, and that kind of led to, I think, some upwelling. So some cooler water, it was sitting over that, and the thunderstorms lost some of their energy from that. But right now, as a Category 1 hurricane, it's moving very slowly off toward the northwest. 6. That is the motion we expect to be in play here. This is Cone is from the Hurricane Center, where we think the center is going to be going. But guys, up here, the water temperatures are very cool, not supportive of tropical cyclones. So though it may not be a strong system right out here, there may be some enhanced rainfall that gets into parts of the southwest United States, say in about 96 to 120 hours or so. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much. Well, the calendar still says summer, and during the warmest days of the year, most of us know that it's usually hotter in the city than the surrounding countryside.
But how much hotter? Nick Walker has the results of a new study showing how hot some of America's cities really are.
You don't have to tell city dwellers, they already know it. Summer is just hotter in town than in the countryside nearby. The concrete and steel, the tall buildings and pavement absorb the sun's rays and hold the heat in. Air conditioning units and cars also add to the effect. It's called the Urban Heat Island, and the Weather Channel's Mark Elliott says it lasts long after the sun goes down.
It releases that heat very slowly, especially at night. So much so that the city can sometimes be 15 degrees warmer inside the city than the outlying areas. The farmland, the suburbs, much cooler, especially at night.
How much hotter you are in the city than outside it depends on what city you're talking about. A nonprofit group of scientists and journalists called Climate Central surveyed 57 of the largest cities in the U.S. over a 10-year period to see who had the biggest summer difference between city temperatures and country temperatures. The survey showed the biggest difference was in Las Vegas, with summer temperatures averaging over 7 degrees hotter in the city than in the surrounding countryside, but up to 24 degrees hotter. Next is Albuquerque, New Mexico, almost 6 degrees warmer in the city than in the country on average, but sometimes up to 22 degrees warmer. Denver is number 3, with an almost 5-degree average difference and up to a 23-degree difference. Followed closely by Portland, Oregon, up to 19 degrees difference, and Louisville, Kentucky, which has been known to be as much as 20 degrees hotter in the city than in the country. The report reminds us that heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S. And the hottest summer days can also mean poor air quality, which can trigger asthma attacks and even heart attacks. All the more reason for those of us who can to get out of town when the hottest days come. I'm meteorologist Nick Walker.
Well, speaking of heat, the tropics are heating up.
Yeah, absolutely. Several new systems that we're following in the Atlantic. 2 of them are bringing tropical downpours from Texas to Florida. We'll show you who's getting drenched.
And growing wildfires, no match for searing heat out west.
It's the Buick. Sir.
Buick. Where's the Buick? Buick.
The expectation-shattering Buick LaCrosse.
Experience the new Buick during our NCAA kickoff event and lease this 2014 Buick LaCrosse for around $299 per month.
Still on for tomorrow?
Quick look at the weather.
Nice today, beautiful tomorrow.
Tomorrow is full of promise.
We can come back tomorrow.
And we promise to keep it that way. Driven to preserve the environment, CSX moves a ton of freight nearly 450 miles on 1 gallon of fuel.
What a day.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
Defiance is in our bones. Defiance never grows old. Citracal Maximum, easily absorbed calcium plus D. Beauty is bone deep.
There are 2 reasons why I need to keep an eye on my health. That's why I take Metabiotic, a daily probiotic.
With 70% of your immune system in your gut, new Multi-Health Metabiotic with Bioactive 12 helps maintain digestive balance and is proven to help support a healthy immune system.
I take care of myself so I can take care of them.
Experience the Meta Effect with our new Multi-Health Wellness line and see how one small change can lead to good things.
You know, millions of people have saved with Progressive, so I get invited to quite a few family gatherings. Heck, I saved Judith here a fortune with discounts like Safe Driver, Multi-Car, Paperless. You make a mighty fine Mrs. M'Lady. I'm not saying Mark's thrifty. Let's just say I saved him $519, and it certainly didn't go toward that ring. Am I right? So visit Progressive.com today. I call this one the Robot.
This is a Pip.
It's part of a Hershey's bar.
We break it.
We bite it.
We sneak it.
We smush it. We savor it.
We love it.
Hershey's is mine. Yours.
Our chocolate.
There are only 3 new episodes of Fat Guys left. Tomorrow night at 10, the Weather Channel's taking 3 new fat guys into the weather.
This is going to be home. We're going to go sardine style.
You mean we're going to lay together?
Right next to each other.
Are you serious? Fat Guys in the Woods. Catch an all-new episode tomorrow at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 75. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane. Hurricane 360, Mondays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Lighting it up with the northern lights in the northeast.
What a beautiful shot there.
Stunning, stunning colors of yellow and purple together. It's gorgeous. And this is from Rochester, New York, from Patty Singer.
It was all because of this week's powerful solar flare. Those charged particles come screaming in towards the Earth's atmosphere, and they actually give off light as they crash into basically gas atoms in the atmosphere.
And you were saying, Mark, that the different colors reflect the different gases.
Yeah, the low-level oxygen gives you green, upper-level oxygen gives red colors, and then nitrogen is that awesome purple color that you more rarely see.
That's cool, and if you get a bunch of them together, you get pictures like that.
Yeah,
beautiful
which was just
pictures.
awesome.
And we want to see more, so send us your pictures. The hashtag is your weekend, and we have a picture to show you from Wes Jordan. He sent this picture from St. Louis. It's been a little cool there, but nice, looking good.
Yeah, you know, it really feels like a cool picture when you look at that clear blue sky. You don't have any of that summer haze left.
Right, right.
because the atmosphere has cleared out. So you got nothing in your way to see that sky. So it's going to be a little bit chilly in the center of the country in the northern tier, but you're not seeing that blue sky here in the northeast.
No.
Yeah, look at this. You've got the 4 cities that are really going to be seeing clouds and showers. Boston, Syracuse, Philly, D.C. Yeah, look at Philadelphia there. The rain is really coming in. And so we're going to be following that forecast for you right on through the rest of today. The northeast rain is going to be a big story. Starting out early in the day, but as the day goes on, the further south or inland you are, the more chances of clearing. And you'll certainly clear out by Sunday. Look at all the sun look at all the rain that you're seeing right now. Burlington, Albany, Syracuse, the showers are coming down fast and furious. You saw that camera from Philadelphia. Here's why it looks so gloomy, because it is, right? The rain has moved into Philly, the I-95 corridor. We can also get a little bit closer in for you in Philly here. The rain is coming down at a pretty good clip. If you're south of town on I-95, you will run into some pretty substantial showers. Baltimore, D.C., scattered showers for you as well. Nothing that's really going to create any flooding here. In fact, portions of the northeast need the rain. Boston, you're behind the average for this time of year, so some rain is good. And it's all because of this upper level low that is swinging on through. But it gets out of here by tomorrow. That's when high pressure builds in and gives you some sunshine. So if you have outdoor plans that you're trying to get in, it's the second half of the weekend that'll really help. Now, we can time this out for you. We've got a high-res model. Here's basically where we are now. Model is initialized fairly well. And as we run this through, you can see that by, let's say 6 o'clock or so, most of New Jersey's clearing out, certainly by 8 o'clock. But it lasts much longer for Boston and Burlington and Portland, Maine, because they are further east, the way the northeast corridor is set up there. And so we have sunshine returning by tomorrow. If you want to get into the garden, maybe you're doing some tailgating for an NFL game as opposed to a college game, you should be fine on Sunday. One quick look at Albany, New York. Again, today is your rainy day. Tomorrow, nothing but sunshine. Bonnie, looks pretty good by Sunday.
It sure does. Well, all eyes will be on the weather at the PGA Tour Championship right here in Atlanta this weekend as we look out for rain and lightning moving in today. So let's take a look at the East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia, site of the PGA Tour Championship. Now, officials are watching very closely for storms that are expected to pop up in the early afternoon. Lots of fans out there, I'm sure, very excited, and everybody's got their fingers crossed that the storms in the southeast will not impact the players or the spectators. Let's take a look. We can show you the radar for the region. There's the East Lake Golf Club. So far, so good. The storms that are popping up right now really have done so in the past hour, and currently they're east of the golf course, but we are still seeing some strong ones rolling on through into Augusta as well. And then when you head to the coastline, things have gotten so active just in the past hour. I tell you, just a little while ago, this was quiet. Everything's firing up in eastern South Carolina. So be careful out there for beach plans in the Charleston area, Savannah, and Georgia. And then I want to show you something else. You can see the rain coming right into New Orleans, especially in those eastern parishes of Louisiana. This is a training event, and what that means is picture trains going over a railroad track, the same place over and over. It happens sometimes with storms. When the storms go through the same place over and over again, that's when the flooding happens. So this is an area to watch here just to the south of New Orleans, down towards Grand Isle. That's a low-lying area that does tend to flood, so that's where we're monitoring it very, very carefully in southern Louisiana. Now, speaking of the southeast, as we head north and a little bit further to the east, you can see this stationary front. And it's going to enhance the unsettled weather that we've been seeing from Birmingham to Atlanta, back out to Charleston, and then all the way northward towards Raleigh. We're seeing those storms firing up along the Outer Banks east of Raleigh into areas of eastern North Carolina and then right along the Virginia border. So these are all popular places to head for a weekend activities outside. But it's also important to note that this will be an area of storms, not just for today and this afternoon, but also for Sunday. So you'll really want to keep it tuned to the Weather Channel because the situation is changing minute by minute as we go from this afternoon to tomorrow. Mark?
And Bonnie, some of the stormy weather that we're seeing near the Gulf Coast is also a factor because of the tropics. Right now, you're finally seeing some sunshine and some clear skies in Fort Myers. You wish you could see some of that, I bet, in South Padre Island, if maybe you're vacationing there. Both of these cities could be impacted by tropics, by systems in the Gulf that could really put down some heavy rain still. So we're looking at the tropical rains across the Gulf Coast states. And here's why. We've got an investigation Invest 92L off the coast of Florida. This thing came across Florida with some very heavy rains. Now it's an area of low pressure that is swirling in the Gulf, which we always have to watch carefully this time of year. The National Hurricane Center is giving it about a 30% chance of development within the next 5 days. The upper level winds not favorable here. Strong winds have been blowing the thunderstorms to the south or maybe even the southwest side. The low has been exposed, the center of the low. You need those storms over the center of the low if you're going to see development here. So these are some of the storms associated directly with our Invest area. However, this flow coming across Florida and towards that Invest is also going to kick up the rain. So we're seeing those showers on the increase, and as we model those out for you, we can actually see that on the increase through the rest of today, maybe another batch for this evening into tonight in South Florida. Areas that have seen almost 6 inches of rain in the past couple of days. Now, on the other side of the Gulf, we have a different Invest, 94. That one has moved inland, so it's not going to develop. It's not over the water anymore, but it is going to give us a lot of rain. Flash flood watch in South Texas. We're seeing rains in Corpus Christi and another batch of heavy rain coming towards Brownsville. So Bonnie, they have to watch out in South Texas.
That's so true, Mark. But I'll tell you one place that's only watching out for beautiful weather. That's Seattle. I know it's been a warm summer, but you got to see this picture that we have to show you. Look at this. Temperatures are holding steady in the upper 60s. And for the game tonight, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 70s. Should be quite pleasant for the Seattle Mariners versus the Oakland A's.
Yeah, you know, that game, you get some perfect weather this time of year, right? 75 degrees.
Yeah.
Being a spectator, that's what I want. I want clear skies, maybe a little bit of a breeze, and mid-70s. It doesn't get better than that, right?
It doesn't, because we do run the risk. You know, you were showing the rain earlier in Philadelphia. Now, let's hope that the heavy stuff clears out tonight. 68 degrees for the Marlins versus the Phillies. Light rain, winds will be out of the northwest, but the chance is strong that we could see a shower.
Yeah, and a lot of those showers should be early on. Maybe a delay there, but you should get that game in.
Good, good. Well, in Phoenix, where they have air conditioning, whew, right?
Yeah, right.
Temperature outside, though, if you're heading out, 99 degrees. That'll be hot. San Diego, it's not quite as hot, but it is a little bit warm for San Diego. It was held because California is spitting that heat.
The whole Southwest has really been quite warm, and that's going to be a factor for the next several days. So this game and many others will be on the warm side.
That's true. What a variety we're seeing in terms of the weather for baseball fans and for everyone else.
And speaking of that hot and dry conditions, how about the dry brush and searing heat out west, and the wildfire crews are trying to fight the flames.
Just how hot is it getting today, and if any relief is in sight?
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Awesome! I've been Claritin Clear for 8 days.
At the first sign of your allergies, doctors recommend taking one Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
21 days. 14 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
Get relief with Claritin. Live Claritin Clear.
Individual style begins with confidence and the perfect new look for fall. Right now at Men's Warehouse, buy one, get one free on almost everything in the store. Plus, get an extra 50% off clearance. Confidence suits you. Only at Men's Warehouse.
More Doritos and Pepsi. This party is complete. Oh, come on. Why are you throwing in a double coverage when your Z is wide open on the deep post?
And that's why I'm mad at you.
Stock up for game time with Walmart's unbeatable prices. Guaranteed by Savings Catcher. Walmart. Save money, live better.
Make your Halloween come to life. Twizzler has your tricks and treats with Twizzlers. The twist you can't resist.
Hey, pal. You ready? Can you pick me up at 6:30?
I'm here.
Too late.
I'll go for 5 minutes. Move it. Killing me. You know what, Dad? I'm good.
It may be quite a while before he's ready, but our Subaru Legacy will be waiting for him.
The longest-lasting midsize sedan in its class. Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
Can this decadent fruit-top pastry with indulgent streusel crumble be from Fiber One? Fiber One streusel. Available at Walmart.
Let's take this up a notch. Let's get a plan and get it right. So we're not doing any of this. Let's go to school. Let's go to save. And then let's go to town. So we can enjoy the view and look for what's next. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Save 20% on any 2 bags of Scott's fertilizer.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
You smell the cheese in the air?
I do. I thought there was a lot of cheese on the Cheesy Pub chicken sandwich, but you clearly went all out here.
Well, 'tis the cheesin', my friend. If not now, then when?
Yeah,
You know?
well, maybe never, but...
In case I haven't already said it, cheesin's greetings.
You said it 3 times already, but thank you. I'll take it again, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Doesn't get cheddar than this.
Cheese it up with the Cheesy Pub chicken sandwich and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
California firefighters worry about triple-digit heat as they fight a wildfire in the Silverado Canyon. The fire broke out yesterday morning in a remote part of the Cleveland National Forest. So far, 1,600 acres have burned. More than 24 homes have been evacuated. And that heat's sticking around for this region for the next few days. Western heat, that's our headline into next week. How hot is it going to get? Well, in Sacramento, you're hitting 101 today. And if this doesn't feel right to you and you're checking the calendar, is it really September? It's not supposed to be this hot. Typically, on average, we see numbers that are 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this one. And even from Monday, it'll be only slightly warmer. It'll still be very hot. It's so hot that the heat advisory for Los Angeles goes right to the Pacific Ocean. That's unusual. Usually we get cooler temperatures right along the water. Not for today. The heat is definitely a problem. But in Los Angeles, temperatures will climb into the mid-90s and the upper 90s on Sunday, up to 97 degrees. Now, this is downtown Los Angeles. LAX, which is closer to the water, won't be that much cooler than this. So you're really facing the heat. The heat, of course, definitely causing an increased risk for fire danger in the Northwest. You saw the pictures of that fire burning. Well, the red flag warning includes areas like Eugene and Portland into Oregon, and we're also looking at extending to Washington State. Dry conditions, very dry conditions with strong winds and low humidity. All those factors come together to create fire danger, and you can see how dry it is across the Northwest. Mark?
Well, Bonnie, from fire to rain, the small mountain town of Lyons, Colorado was torn apart by too much rain. In fact, it was a historic flood. One group instrumental in the recovery process was the First Response Team of America. That team recently went back to Lyons to catch up with some of the people that they helped dig out after that devastating event. Maria LaRosa has the story.
We're on our way to Lyons, Colorado. Last time we were here,
It was just unbelievable destruction, unlike I've never seen a flood do before. The roads were covered in boulders and dirt, mud everywhere, and it literally destroyed everything in its path. My hope is that they've been able to recover well and have really begun the rebuilding.
For Fire Captain Dave Roth, the rebuilding process started here on a remote country road with the help of the first response team.
This was just water. The creek was raging through here. The road came down and it was just basically cut off, like someone took a knife and cut the edges off.
Within days, the team had constructed a vital river crossing, reconnecting stranded residents to the outside world.
We were still using that river crossing like 3.5, 4 weeks after it had washed out.
Further downstream, only a concrete slab remains where Captain Roth's firehouse once stood.
You can see where the waters actually sheared the concrete off and broke it off.
Damaged beyond repair by intense waters, it was torn down a few months after the flood.
We do have plans to rebuild the fire station on the other side of the river up out of the floodplain, and this won't happen to us again.
In town, Carl Cray has returned to his cherished riverfront home, but rebuilding has not been easy.
You couldn't dig here.
A year ago, buried beneath layers of thick mud, his home appeared lost, but the first response team helped Carl dig through to a brighter future.
It's the first time I had hope. Hope that I could still live here. Hope that it wouldn't just swallow me up. I don't know if I'd be back here without him, because I'd given up.
In going back to Lions, Patagonia is reminded how his work helps communities move forward.
Being here in Lions was a very meaningful experience because I'm able to see the folks that we've worked with, that we've helped, and to see the appreciation that they express. In a way, it kind of gives us the fuel to keep on going.
That group does incredible work, and you can learn more about Patagonia and the First Response Team of America at weather.com/responders.
Great story, Mark. A tropical system is moving into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, it could strengthen as it hits warmer waters. Storm specialist Greg Postel is closely monitoring it, and he'll tell us what to expect.
Responding by storm, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Momentum has a way of quietly exploding onto the scene. The new Ram 1500 Eco Diesel with 28 highway miles per gallon, 420 pound-feet of torque. Guts, glory, Ram.
How do we get a little fun in the sun for free? I stayed one time.
We stayed another time.
And now we're all staying one night free.
Great endings begin here. Right now, when you book at any of these Choice Hotels and take 2 separate trips, you earn 1 night free. Book now at choicehotels.com.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods. Are you serious? Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
make fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Tomorrow night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sometimes our co-pilots lead us. They inspire us to try new things, to push our boundaries, and live life to the fullest. At Petco, we like to do the same for our pets. It's why we're so selective about the food we offer, like Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Now 10% off entire stock for a limited time. Because when our companions live well, so do we. Petco, the power of together.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. L&B 24-inch vanity, now just $119.
We are the Saunders, and we're new to the Pacific Northwest. The rain, the mud, but bam, it's there. The outside comes in. It's kind of nasty, so you start a towel mop shuffle. Where are you, son? Oh, wow, it's a Swiffer wet jet. This puts my towel mopping to shame. Ugh. Sunshine is overrated. Now we can get messy.
Can you start tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we're booked solid.
We close on the house tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we go live, everybody.
It's a day full of promise. And often, that day arrives by train.
Big day today? Even bigger one tomorrow.
CSX, how tomorrow moves.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavors fully develop to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Check out all these airline seats. Lots of them, right? But when you try to get one by using your travel rewards card miles, those seats mysteriously vanish. Why? All the flights you want are blacked out, or they hit you up for some outrageous number of miles. Switch to the Venture card from Capital One. With Venture, use your miles on any airline, any flight, anytime. No black.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial pre-arrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own pre-arrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
And no interest for 12 months. So call 888-4CHAMPION today, because every home needs a champion.
7 a.m. on AMHQ. Let's get you in front of today's weather. The biggest weather hour anywhere. What a gorgeous start. Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. It's time for your tropical update. I'm hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel. We got new information on the invest in the Gulf of Mexico. Not surprisingly, now the odds are down to 10% of this thing developing into a depression or a named storm over the next 5 days. Really, this thing has been beaten up by an environment that's got strong wind shears and it's relatively dry. So this area of disorganized clouds and showers not likely to mature any further. But what it might do in the next couple days is this is important to keep in mind, because it is basically around it, we've got some significant tropical moisture. The relative humidities are pretty high at low levels anyway, not at mid levels, but at low levels, and that might bring some enhanced rainfall into parts of the western Gulf states, Texas, Louisiana. In that Monday, Tuesday, there may be some enhanced rainfall out there. So watch out for that. Now, let's turn our attention over to the Pacific side of things, where we've got now a new advisory on Hurricane Odile. Continues to strengthen a little bit. It is now an 85-mile-per-hour Category 1 hurricane. Pressure estimated at 977. The Air Force might be flying a reconnaissance in there tomorrow, and we'll have more on you when that comes in. There it is. You can see it's kind of oscillating a little bit. You know, I look at these satellite pictures as I have yesterday, kind of going off and on. These big thunderstorms show up and then they dissipate a little bit. So it probably is strengthening a little bit, but it's moving so slowly. It keeps, I think, churning up cooler waters underneath it, and that may be reducing some of the energy that the thunderstorms can acquire. But here's where the models think this thing is going. Eventually, once it starts going, it's going to get back over warmer and warmer waters for a little while anyway, and probably strengthen along this way, but then eventually run into some cooler waters off to the north, which is why the Hurricane Center's official cone, you can see, has gradually the intensity going up, but then weakening a little bit thereafter as it heads north, probably to the latitude of northern Baja California. Stay tuned for all the latest, because that system could bring some significant moisture into the southwest next week. Back to you.
Thank you. Well, it's only September and already parts of Montana have seen snow, including Glacier National Park.
The popular park bears through the most brutal winters, and it's why the park shuts down for 6 months. Our Rick Adams visited the Many Glacier Hotel to find out how it survives.
Tucked into Glacier National Park, in the shadow of these peaks, you'll find the Many Glacier Hotel. A rustic Swiss-style chalet with epic views that leave you speechless. It draws guests from around the world in the summer, but winter is, well, a different story.
It definitely takes a beating in the winter.
With dense walls of white burying it, this 100-year-old hotel is closed more months than it's open. Suited up in lederhosen, bellman Nathan Thompson and the Many Glacier staff make sure it's ready to be entombed in snow.
After we close, they board up all the windows, they drain all the water out of the hotel, they weatherproof the whole building, clearing all the furniture out, and we ship it off to be stored.
After the last car pulls away, one man stays behind for what may be the loneliest job on the planet, the winter caretaker.
He has to just bear it through the winter.
Sound familiar? It's like a scene straight from The Shining.
Weather forecast said it's going to snow tonight.
What do you want me to do about it?
And did we mention that there's no cell phone service? Well, now I'm really scared.
Once you're here, you're stuck.
And that's not an exaggeration. Some winters have brought 15 feet of snow. A load so heavy that it's actually broken through windows and walls.
The snow usually gets up to the second story. When I came back here in 2011, I could actually walk up to the second story balcony without using the ladder.
In the spring, it takes weeks for these snowplows to uncover the property and the remote roads leading to it. And the visitors aren't far behind, ready to take in this majestic view.
Oh, and if you want to stay here, well, good luck, because most of these rooms for 2015 are already booked. But then you could always do what I do, just show up and beg. For the Weather Channel, I'm Rick Adams.
So You Think You'd Survive is up next.
But stay with us. If severe weather strikes where you live, we'll break in locally to bring it to you. And one last look at the radar coming up next.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So You Think You'd Survive starts off in 1 minute, but right now we're looking at the radar and the satellite across the southeast. Look at the low clouds that were engulfing Atlanta this morning. South of town, plenty of sunshine. So in that sunshine now, storms have fired up. They are moving away from Atlanta, but moving towards Macon. So traveling down I-75, maybe going to the Georgia-Florida Parkway, you are going to run into some of that very heavy rain. Now, the southeast is going to be in and out of these showers and storms today. I-16, I-95, you name it, scattered thunderstorms thunderstorms are the rule today, so we'll be monitoring these for you carefully here across the southeast. Now, in the northeast corridor, area of low pressure is swinging on through. Cold front as well. Not much oomph to this front with regards to severe weather, but some steady rain along I-87 between Albany and Burlington. We also have some rains down towards Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C., with some steady rains trying to make their way into central portions of New Jersey. So those are the areas we're watching. So You Think You'd Survive starts right now.
Shield your eyes! You're caught in the path of a massive hurricane. A hungry shark decides to make you its next meal. And a freak hailstorm rains destruction from the sky.
That's coming this way.
Pull your bike helmet on!
The time for bravado, that's something you can't put on your gravestone.
From a wreck at sea to a bite in the backyard.
What is that sound? Is that a snake? There's extreme pain.
Natural disasters.
Shut your eyes.
Extreme and unexpected danger. You will choose your fate. You're trekking alone through the desert. Recent thunderstorms have transformed the typically dry landscape, but there's one change you're not ready for. Wet sand grips your feet.
You really start going down.
In seconds, you're up to your knees, sinking in quicksand.
Help!
What will you do to survive this creeping terror? Would you A, waste no time fighting to break free before it takes you down? B, start digging around your legs so you can climb out? Or C, lean back and spread out so you float to the top? This isn't a Hollywood gimmick. You're actually in deep trouble.
Quicksand is a mix of water, sand, silt, and a little bit of clay and debris and vegetation. As long as you have a matrix of soil with lots of water in a buoyant condition, you have a quicksand.
The water in quicksand reduces the friction between all of those little granules of sand. So while it may appear to be a solid, quicksand is incredibly sensitive to movement. So once you step into quicksand, it starts a chain reaction between all of those little granules of sand. And so it quickly turns from a semi-solid into a soupy, goopy mess.
Some places the quicksand looks identical to mud, and some places